So hey everyone, welcome back in part 10th of the Bear X series, and in this part we will discuss from article 61 to 65 clause by clause and article by article. Apart from this, I have added handwritten notes. If you want, you can download it from our Telegram channel, and I have added original constitution text here. And whatever the format you can prefer and you can read, whether it's my handwritten notes or the original text of the constitution. So article 61 is basically about the procedure for the impeachment of the president, that how the president will be impeached if he or she founds the guilty of the violation of the constitution. As we all know, I have discussed it earlier in my earlier videos, that there is only one grounds is mentioned for the president to be impeached, okay, and that ground is the violation of the constitution, okay. But there are certain conditions given in the constitution itself that provides president to some extent security of the tenure, and the first is that 14 days notice. So no charge shall be preferred unless you gave the 14 days notice to the president, and that notice should be signed by 1 by 4th of the total number of the members. Also from this, that such resolution should be passed by majority of not less than 2/3 of the total membership of the houses. Okay, now I have explained it here. If you want, you can directly access this, and if you want, you can read it from here. Okay, so article 61, article 61 describing the procedure for the impeachment of the president. Okay, so when the president is to be impeached for the violation of the constitution, the charge shall be preferred by either house of the parliament. That means either Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha. Okay? Any house can initiate the procedure for the impeachment of the president, but there are certain conditions. Condition number 1, that this resolution will be moved after giving at least 14 days written notice, and this written notice should be signed by not less than 1 by 4th of the total members of that house. Let me tell you that total membership is different from the total members of that house. Okay, total membership means that the maximum strength of the house, but total members here suggesting that the numbers of the member present at that time. And also, when this resolution will move in either of the houses, that resolution should be passed by majority of not less than 2/3 of the total membership of that house. Now after passing this resolution, the president will removed. Okay, so there is only one ground you will find in the constitution, and that ground is the violation of the constitution of India. Okay, and when a charge has been so preferred by either house of the parliament, then when it transferred to other house, the other house shall investigate the charge or the cause the charge to be investigated, and the president shall have the right to appear and to represent it at such investigation. It means the president has the right to appear in the house of the parliament. Okay, so when one house prefer the charges, the other house what will do, that they will investigate the charge or the cause is okay, and the president also has the right to appear and to represent it during the investigation. That is the privilege, you can say, that are important to protect the president of India, or to provide safeguards to the president of India. Okay, now if after investigation the other house passes a resolution declaring that the charge has been sustained, then a majority of not less than 2 by 3rd of the total membership of that house, the president shall be removed from the house, from the office, from the date of the resolution. Okay, let me make it very simple here. So the condition is 14 days notice in either house of the parliament, whether it is in Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha, should be signed by not less than 1 by 4th members of the house. Apart from this, if this bill approved, then there will be a resolution to remove the president, and that resolution should also be passed by a majority of not less than 2 by 3rd. Then it will transfer to the next house. Let's suppose if this resolution is originated in the Rajya Sabha, after this two procedure, this will transfer to the Lok Sabha. Then Lok Sabha will investigate the matter, and if we found that yes, this resolution is valid, then that house will also pass with the same majority, that will not less than 2 by 3rd, but here 2 by 3rd of the total membership of the houses. Okay, so total membership of the houses is different from the total numbers of the members. Okay, now after this, when both house will pass the resolution to remove the president will vacate, or the president will remove from his or her office. That is the part, that is the article 61 here. Okay, so I have explained it here, and everything I try to make it simple here. Okay, now article 62 is talking about time of holding election, okay, to fill the vacancy of the president. Okay, now the constitution is basically provides that before the expiration or expiry of the term of president, elections should be completed. Okay, so completed before the expiration of the terms. Let me make it simple here. So Article 62. Now Article 62 times of holding election to fill vacancy in the office of president. Okay, now if vacancy is caused by expiration of the term, then the elections should be completed before the expiration of the terms. Okay, now here you can also make a note by case wise that the case first, if the vacancy arises due to the expiration of term, then the constitution provide that the election of the president should be held before the expiration of the terms. Okay, now let's suppose if the vacancy occurs due to death, resignation, removal, or maybe due to some other reason, then elections should be held as soon as possible, but it should not be later than 6 months. That means within 6 months elections should be held from the date of vacancy if the vacancy occur due to the second case. Okay, now as you all know, if vacancy is caused by expiration of terms, then it should be completed. That means elections should be completed before the expiration. But let's suppose if it occurs due to resignation, death, removal, or otherwise, then not more than 6 months. Within 6 months, elections should be conducted and a new president will assume the office. Okay, now when new person will assume the office, they will be assume office for full term of 5 years from the date which he enters. Okay, like let's suppose there is a president election. Okay, one candidate is chosen as the president of India. Now after 2 years that president resign, then what will happen? Within 6 months a new president will be elected. Now whether that president will remain in office for the remainder of 3 years or full 5 years, no, they will remain for the full 5 years because new election is conducted. That is the simple basis for the article 62, as you can see here. Okay, so an election to fill the vacancy in the office of president occurring by reason of his death, resignation, or removal, or otherwise, and in no case later than 6 months from the occurrence of the vacancy. Okay, and the elected to fill the vacancy shall be subject to the provisions of the article 56. Okay, and also here you can find the mention that when new president will be elected, that president will hold the office for the full term of 5 years from the date on which he enters his office. Okay, now article number 63, but before it, here given some important points that you should keep in mind, that the grounds of the impeachment that is mentioned in the constitution is the violation of the constitution. An impeachment process can be initiated by either house, whether it is in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. 14 days notice in written supported by 1/4 of the total members is essential or necessary, and apart from this, majority is 2/3 of the total membership. And is there any provision for the joint sitting? No joint sitting of the parliament. Okay, so article 61 is about impeachment and article 62 is about election to fill the vacancy. Now let's move to article number 63, and article number 66 provides an office for the vice president of India. Okay, now so here you will find the mention that there shall be a vice president of India. In article, under article 63, you will found just one sentence that there should be a office for the vice president of India. Okay, now here also you can see that there will be a vice president for India. Now article 64, so article 63 important, that provides office for the vice president of India, but article 64 is talking that vice president will be the ex officio chairman of the Council of State. Okay, now that ex officio chairman or the vice president of India will withdraw their salary or other emoluments, that is basically for acting as a chairman of the Council of State, not as a president of India. Okay, as article 64 provides that vice president will be ex officio chairman of the Council of State, that means Rajya Sabha. Okay, now the vice president shall be an ex officio chairman of the Council of State and shall not hold any other office of the profit. Okay, provided that during any period when the vice president act as a president or discharge the function of president under article 65, he shall not perform the duties of office of chairman of Council of State and shall not be entitled to any salary or allowances payable to chairman. That means when vice president will act as a president, they will withdraw salary for the president. Okay, not as a vice president or ex chairman of the Council of State. Every privileges or the emoluments or the allowances when vice president will act as president, they will get for the president, not for as a vice president or ex officio chairman of the Council of State. That is the meaning of article 64. Okay, so article 64 is talking about that vice president to be ex officio chairman of the Council of India. Okay, sorry, Council of State, that means the Rajya Sabha, and it also provides that vice president shall not hold any other office of profit. Okay, now there are some provisions that I have discussed, that let's suppose during any period when the president will act as a president or discharge the function of the president under Article 65, then it is important that he shall not perform the duty of the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Okay, and also he shall not receive the salary or the allowances payable to chairman of Rajya Sabha, but they will receive, or he or she will receive, the salary allowances that is payable to the president of India. Also, okay, when vice president will act as a president of India. Okay, so Article 63 is about the vice president of India. There shall be vice president of India, and Article 64 is talking about that vice president of India will act as a chairman for the Rajya Sabha. Okay, clear? Now, last article for today, article number 65. Okay, now article number 65 is that, now suppose vice president is acting as a president or discharging the duty or the function of the president during the casual vacancies. Now, casual vacancy means vice president will not act as a president when expiration of the term. No, they can't act because new election for the president will be held within the, before the expiration of the term. But let's suppose when president will resign, or death, or any other reason, let's suppose health reason, president will be no more in the office, then vice president will act as a president. Okay, and within 6 months election will be held, but for these 6 months vice president will act as a president. Okay, so in the event of occurrence of any vacancy, the office of president by reason of his death, resignation, or removal, or otherwise, but not for the expiration of the term, because as we have already discussed that yes, president will act until the new successor assume the office of the president. Okay, now if even after the expiration of his term, unless or until new president will assume office, there will no vacancy in the office, as old president will be there. That is the simple meaning. Okay, so shall act as a president until the date on which a new president elected in accordance with the provision of this chapter. Okay, now when the president or the president is unable to discharge his function, why? Because of the absence or any kind of illness, or maybe other causes, then the vice president shall discharge his function that I have discussed until the date on which the president resume his duty. Okay, and the election should be held within the 6 months from the vacancy. Apart from this, the vice president shall, during and in respect of the period while he is so acting as or discharging the function of president, have all the powers and immunities of the president, but as a president, not the immunities, allowances are payable for the chairperson or the vice president. No, he or she will get emoluments payable or other privilege for the president. Okay, privileges as may determined by parliament by law, and until provision on that behalf is so made, such emoluments, allowances, and privileges are specified in the second schedule of the constitution. Now let us discuss here that, let's suppose if there is a vacancy arisen due to what? Due to illness, due to resignation, due to removal of the president, then the vice president will act as a president, and also he will discharge his function during the casual vacancy. Okay, and he will act as a president until a new president elected. Okay, now second is that, let's suppose when president is unable to discharge his function, why? Because of absence, illness, or any other causes, then vice president will discharge his function. Okay, apart from this, the vice president shall, during, in, and respect of the period while he is so acting or discharging, have the powers and immunities of the president. Also, he will be entitled to such emoluments, allowances, and privileges. Okay, now one important table that I have provided here, difference between Article 65(1) and Article 65(2). Okay, so Article 65(1) is talking about that when president office will become vacant, okay, not for the expiration of term, then vice president act as a president, and when president is unable to perform function temporarily, vice president discharges president's function. Okay, now very important difference is provided here, that let's suppose for the sometimes and for the few reasons like illness or some other reason, president is not in the sense that they can assume the office or act as a president, then for the very short period of time, vice president will act as a president according to Article 62, just because to discharge president function. Now they will not act as a president, they will just discharge the president function. Okay, but when office will vacant for the due to the removal, due to the resignation, then vice president will act as a president. Here you will not find that vice president will act as a president when temporarily president is not able to doing his work. Okay, I hope everything is clear and crystal now. I have taken just 5 articles, I think. Okay, just 5 articles because I do not want from you to take so much burden. Okay, just revise. I am here for you. If you have any doubt, let me know in comment section. If you want any other kind of explanation, then also let me want. If you want to give any feedback regarding language, regarding fluency, then also you are welcome. And if you like this initiative, and kindly let me know in comment section. Also subscribe this channel and like the video. Okay.